So, good evening everybody. I believe we are live. So, I hope you can all hear me. So, let's see. Hello Manji, Roland, Vibes, 40, Valentine, Roland, Valentine, Vitali, Laxina, Ronan. Scorching hot is becoming intolerable day by day. I'm suffering from indigestion, etc. I'm sorry to hear that. India can be so hot though. The best to all of you. Hi Leffy, hi Count Beauty, great to have you as well. Okay, so, and Lukash, great to see you. This is wonderful. Lots of people coming in. Okay, today we're going to do an article, because last time we finished the previous one, about why some people are some people compelled to cheat at games. So, good evening Manisco, great to have you. Z9 Leaf, Leffy. Okay, good evening GW, good evening Abdelassam. This class is going to be a knockover. It's going to be a pushover. I would say a pushover, very definitely, Leffy. Okay. We're all on pins and needles. No, we're all on pins and needles. We're all on tenterhooks. Yeah, I guess you could say we're all on pins and needles. I guess that would work as well. So let me put the first question in place. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock and time to rock and roll. Good evening, VG. Wow, okay, you're going to have problems because I've been producing a huge amount, VG. The will to win is too strong. On pins and needles. Yes, that sounds much better. So, when it comes to unfair tactics, some of us are just better at turning, bending, curving, flexing, warping the rules. But the urge to cheat at games is easier to understand when you examine how they are designed. So, let's see. Turn the rules, bend the rules, curve the rules, flex the rules, warp the rules. On tenterhooks. That's the phrase, Vibes. So, we've got bending for Vitali, for Maria Lazard, for Valentine, for George Washington. Good evening, NASA. And Ronan for bending, and Manji and Vibes for bend the rules, and Lukash for bending. I think you all know this. Roland for bending as well, and Count Beauty for bending the rules, and so for VG, and Leffy, and Laxina, and 40. Yes, very definitely. Bend the rules is a definite collocation. Bending the rules. Yeah. I think warping the rules. I think warp is is probably much stronger. If something's warped, it's very strange. And bending for Abdelassam. VG, mine. I have a Spanish keyboard, but I program it for English as well. I peek into the bag when I pick at Scrabble tiles. That's pretty good. So, bending the rules, not breaking the rules. Not breaking it. Yeah, bending. Good evening, Williams, as well. Great to have you. Rules are not set in stone. In English, very often, the English think that rules are set in stone. And the next one's really easy as well. Don't worry, they will get harder, I hope. Something to challenge you all. If you're bending the rules, I think maybe bending the rules, you're breaking them. Are you breaking them? It's as close as you get to breaking the rules. Yeah? To bend the rules. I was thinking about twisting the rules as well, but bend the rules is very definitely. There is a dark, grey, black, cloudy area between being a little dishonest and actively cheating. Okay, so let's see, and we're off with this one, and 40 goes for grey, so does Vitali, Valentine, Laxina. Leffy goes for cloudy, and Count Beauty for grey, and same with Vibes and Abdelasalam. Okay, and Manji for Grey, good evening Emeen, and Rizgar, great to see you, it's ages since we had you in one of these. Bending the Truth, hi David Lutz, great to have you. A grey area, says Roland, and so does VG. Ronan, Massa says a dark area, Maria Lazaro grey area, Williams for grey, and Emeen for cloudy. Okay, I thought this was reasonably easy. I'm looking at these answers of certainly it's not a black area. I think if it's a dark area, I guess a dark area would work, and I guess a cloudy area would work as well. But the collocation we use is a grey area. So GR, do I put an A or an E? I'm going to put an A, grey. Grey area. I guess they also say grey zone, speaking about no man's land in war. Is no man's land a grey area? Let's see, a grey area is where things aren't certain. Yeah, where the law or the rules isn't defined. Yeah? So is there a grey area between being a little dishonest and actively cheating? Okay, the twilight zone. I like that, twilight zone. Yeah, a legal grey area. That's perfect, Rizgar. Rules. The rules still have to be clarified. The rules still have to be clarified. Exactly. Grey. Yeah. I like both spellings of grey, by the way. Yeah. Oh, the next one I like is quite a good one. This one's a little bit more difficult. Okay, so a grey area. VG says with an E in British and with an A in American. By the way, I use both spellings. So, who hasn't failed to draw attention to their presence on a rival's property in Monopoly, or hidden, glided, crept, peeped, peeked, snuck a glance at opponents' cards in Cluedo? Good evening, Haddy. Both are fine, Roland. US usually grey area. So, yes. And, this one's going to be an interesting one. Okay, so we've got SNUCK for Vitali, peeked for Valentine, and peeped for Count. Vibe says SNUCK or peeked. Leffy goes for SNUCK. Lax goes for peeked. Amin goes for peeked. Manji goes for SNUCK. Maria Lazar for peeked. Quarenta for peeked. And VG for peeked. Unflattering and unflappable. If something's unflattering, it's not very good for you. It's quite rude. It's critical. And unflappable means you can't be made to feel nervous. A person who's unflappable is always calm. Good evening, Forlorn. And Haddy goes for peaked. Glance already means peaked. Exactly. So Roland says peek a glance at it. I like what you're saying. Also, exactly. Why use it twice? That's very good, Leffy. Snuck and sneaked are the past of sneak. Very good. That was one of my questions. And Patricia says peeked. Ronan says peeked a glance. Manny, good evening, says snuck. Emin says hidden. Peak is the top of something. Yes, but that's with an A. Yes. Okay. And William says peaked as well. Okay, hidden. You don't to hide a glance. I guess you could hide a glance, but it's not the right one, very definitely. And to creep is to walk very quietly. And Rizgar goes for peeped. Steal a glance. Steal a glance would work really well. Thank you for that, Vitali. Now, I have a problem with both peeped and peeked. Because, as Leffy says, glance already means peeked. Yeah? So, if there wasn't this word a glance, or peeped at opponent's cards, or peeked at opponent's cards, I think to peep is to look through something, and to peek is just to have a little look at something. But with both peeped and peeked, the word looked, or the idea of looked at something, is already there, and therefore you can't use peeped a glance. It needs to be without this a glance, and therefore it is snuck or sneaked. This is from the verb to sneak, to do something without people noticing. Yeah? And I guess it snuck from to sneak is much better than hidden. Yeah? So, snuck, past participle of sneak in US English. Peep through the keyhole. Yeah? Okay, so, to sneak a glance at. Where was that one that Vitali said? Yes, to take a glance at. Yeah? Okay, snuck for Vitali as well. Sorry, for Minati as well. Good evening, Minati. Great to have you. So, to sneak a glance at, very definitely. So I've got one that there that got a lot of you. Snuck a glance at. That's the answer, Roland. Yeah, to sneak a glance at. And the next one's interesting as well. I wonder how many of you through ask to sneak a peek at, snuck a peek at, but without the glance. Sneak a peek, very definitely. Do voyeurs peep at other people's windows? Yes, very definitely. Okay, so even if we never intended to deceive, the little haste, gush, push, gust, rush of adrenaline from not paying rent or gaining an advantage over others feels good. We got them good with that one. Yes, we definitely did, Leffy. So this is interesting. Secretly take a look at, to sneak a glance, yeah, or to peep or to peek, but without the look. So, this is very good. I think we're doing really well here. So, rush for Vitali, for Count, for Valentine, for Lax, for NASA, for Manji, for Vibes, for Leffy. To glide, to move smoothly. Minati says a rush of adrenaline. And a rush for Maria Lazar. Good evening, Julia Richmond says rush. Manny goes for gush. Williams for rush. Quarenta for rush. Roland for a rush of adrenaline. Okay, very clearly you all know the answer to this. It's rush. So, gush. What gush is and what gusts? So haste is to go quickly, and a little push of adrenaline, no. Okay, and we've got rush here for Ronan, for Copy, for Hadi, for Patricia, for Amin. So the previous was sneak, yes, snuck or sneaked, and VG for rush as well. So to be in haste, to go rapidly, no. So, gush. What gushes and what gusts? Yeah? Hello, Jobs. So, very definitely, a rush of adrenaline. A rush of adrenaline is this woof feeling, yeah? A gust of wind. Very good. And gush meaning a jet. That's very good for learn. A rush of adrenaline, definitely. Water gushes, absolutely. Water gushes. Also, we can say a person gushes when they're being incredibly enthusiastic about something, normally because they want something. The Twilight Zone was a brilliant series, Abdesalam. I keep getting your name wrong. Smite, it means to hit, and an indictment is an accusation. A gust of wind, definitely Patricia. So, gush equals something liquid in large quantities, blood for example. I got an unlimited haste with adrenaline somehow. Oh, I got unlimited haste with adrenaline somehow. So a rush is a high, is a really good feeling. Yeah. Okay, so that's brilliant. Okay, the next one I think is reasonably easy. I think, but I'm not convinced. Okay, so you get a rush from something. You feel really good. Whoosh. Yeah? And this is it, while cheating might lead to a few family disputes over the holidays, and perhaps the peculiar, weird, funny, odd, overturned board, cheating is a major problem in professional gambling. So, the peculiar overturned board, the weird overturned board, the funny overturned board, the odd overturned board. Eldritch, okay, from talking about elves and fairies and things like that. So we've got answers from Vitaly, Leffy and Julia. Thank you, Ronan. It's a real pleasure. Okay, and here comes a gush of answers. Okay, so odd for Vitaly, for Leffy, for Julia, for Lax, for Manji, for Count, for NASA. On Surge, on Spurt. Good, that's great for Learn. And Patricia goes for odd, and so does Maria Lassa and Emin. The previous one was Rush. Ronan, Rush. Okay, so, and odd for Roland, blood gushes, exactly, Haddy. Odd for Minati. Do I have any stories about cheating in games? Odd or funny? It can only be, so, let's see. Well, funny, I guess maybe people are laughing at it. But it's not peculiar and it's not weird. And funny here we're using as meaning peculiar. Odd, from time to time, periodic. Yeah? How could well, maybe everybody starts laughing at it. It could be, but not really. Odd. Yes, as in Patricia says, odd jobs. Yeah. So very funny, ha-ha, or funny, peculiar, Patricia. A gush of answers. It's a collocation. A gush of water is the collocation. Odd. Yeah. Occasional. Odd, overturned, exactly. So odd. Occasional. Yeah, he does odd jobs. He does occasional jobs from time to time. Thank you for that, Vitaly. That's a great definition of it. Okay, so odd, from time to time. Yeah, he has the odd drink from time to time. Yeah, he watches the odd video once in a while. Okay. Coaches of Counter-Strike esports teams have been handed bans for exploiting bugs and match fixing. Top esports players can earn millions of dollars, so any suggestion of cheating is heatedly, warmly, hotly, burningly investigated. The worlds of professional poker and bridge have also found themselves lurched, blown, agitated, rocked by recent cheating scandals. Funny, whatever you fancy. Okay, so we've got hotly for the first one for Vitaly. I can't think of a good cheating story. Yeah, I had a good peeping one. Yeah, but so I don't know. Maybe I'll have to think of one, Leffy. Like by the by, the adjective odd. Yeah. So, and Vitali goes for rocked. Okay, it's a very important meaning, odd, occasional, odd job, not permanent, from time to time. And Leffy goes for hotly, and Renyard goes for hotly. And Minati goes for heatedly. Manji says hotly rocked. Julia Richmond hotly rocked. And Valentine for rocked. Count says blown. Renyard goes rocked. Emine says lurched. Manny says heatedly. Quarenta goes hotly. Vibes for rocked. Haddy, the odd man out. But there odd means strange. But here odd in this context, Haddy, odd means from time to time, periodic. The peeping story will do. Okay, hotly says Amin. Burningly says Amin and lurched. And Maria Lazar goes for blown. And P goes for hotly rocked. Roland heatedly investigated. Okay, lax for blown. People are at loggerheads, says Jobs, and Laxina hotly blown. Okay, Leffy, there's the chef or the waiter is peeping through the keyhole in a hotel at the at a couple, and he turns and he says to the chambermaid, and that was the guy who complained about a hair in his soup last night. Okay, so Laxina says hotly blown, Rosgar for burningly. Indignantly instead of hotly. So, no, because, let's see, this is one of my questions. Hotly means, in this case, means they do it very seriously. Yeah? If something's hotly investigated, they do it very, very seriously. Minati goes for agitated. Peeping Tom, exactly. And agitated for the second one, says Rizgar. So look at these. Heatedly means angrily. They talked heatedly. They were arguing. But if you do something hotly, it's with lots of vigour, lots of life, lots of energy. So cheating is energetically investigated by the authorities. Yeah? People talk about it heatedly with arguments. Yeah? And therefore thoroughly. I like that, Patricia. That's a great one. Thank you. So Haddy goes for heartedly. You mean heatedly. It's not hearted. Heatedly and blown. So you got it, Leffy. Okay, thank you. And so it's not heatedly investigated, it's hotly investigated. Hotly, seriously, vigorously, strongly. Yeah, it's strongly investigated. Heatedly gives the idea of angry, lots of alacrity. That's the idea, hotly. Yeah, not angrily. And, okay, so, can it be heatedly and hotly? They argued hotly. I would say they argued heatedly. I guess in some circumstances, but no. Hotly here, paying attention to vehemently. Exactly. And that's vehemently. That's where you get between. Vigorously in this case. Yes, exactly, vibes. Okay, so, sorry, but thoroughly is a non sequitur, as indignantly as well. Heating is thoroughly investigated. I think thoroughly investigated works fine. Yeah? But here, hotly investigated, they're very keen to do it. Indignantly investigated. Well, heatedly. They argued heatedly. They're both adverbs. We lurch from crisis to crisis. Emotionally charged is heated. Okay, so to lurch is to move suddenly from side to side. Find themselves blown. No. Agitated. A person gets agitated. Hotly sounds like they're being kinky and arguing raunchily. I love that, Jobs. That's great. Okay, so To be rocked by something is to be hit by it and moved back. The car was rocked by a gust of wind. Wow, David, thank you so much. That's really, really, really kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you, David. Okay, to be rocked by a scandal. This is a very common collocation. Strongly affected. It's like you hit something and it rocks backwards and forwards. To rock backwards and forwards, yeah, so it loses its stability, yeah, and to be rocked by a scandal, yeah, to be rocked by something bad. Thank you again, David. Wow, that's so kind of you. That really is. So to rock with a scandal, somebody's rocked by a scandal, yeah, they're swaying from side to side. Okay, a body lurches. The butler in the Addams family is called Lurch because he lurches. The train lurches from side to side. Yeah? Agitated. I guess agitated, but it's to jolt, to lurch. That's very good. And the next one's easy. But despite attempts in both professional and amateur games, akin, evenly, alike, ajar, afoot, to stop it, cheating is more common than we might think. Surprisingly, it can also be a good thing. So, to be rocked by a scandal is a phrase very, very definitely for them. It's a collocation. Society has been rocked by the UK should have been rocked by VG and Partygate. So, let's see. Here, this is interesting. Here, we've got alike for vibes, akin for Roland, Count says alike, Vitali says a foot, wind-blown hair. Roland says likened to. Okay, a foot says mangy. And Maria Lazar says akin. The door was left ajar. Thank you, Roland. Alike says Leffy. Akin says Patricia. And Renyard says alike. So this is very interesting. I think some of you should stop and read again. But despite attempts in both professional and amateur games to stop it, this is to, this goes with the verb stop and is an infinitive. Cheating is more common than we might think. Surprisingly, it can also be a good thing. Afoot, being prepared, in operation. Absolutely. There is trouble afoot. It's coming. Once again, David Lutz, thank you so much. Wow. So, let's see. This is really interesting. Leffy says alike. Patricia says akin. Renyard says alike. Razgar says alike. And Minati says akin. Ronan says alike. Amin says alike. Ronan says alike. And Vitali's now read it properly and says alike. So, nothing at all. Nothing of all, perhaps. Okay, thank you, David. So, I know akin to, yeah, A is akin to B. A is akin to B. Similar. But no, because this is an infinitive, yeah? So, we don't have a preposition. And therefore, despite attempts in both professional and amateur games, your jobs, alike fits, your money's on alike, not akin, definitely, Patricia. And thank you, Leffy, that's really, really kind of you. So thanks to David Lutz and thank you to Leffy as well. You're so kind. So yes, but let's see. A is akin to B. These two things are akin. But here, we normally use something is akin, yeah? Okay, and games, akin doesn't work here. Good evening, Thunder, great to have you. Hattie goes for a like. Patricia's going for a foot now. This one's funny. I'm starting to laugh at this one. Okay, let me put you out of your misery. A like, yeah? Akin, and amateur games akin, to stop it. You see, the other problem with akin, I guess you could use akin, but it's this too makes it very, very unclear. Analogous, akin, yeah? Alike, very, very definitely alike. A foot means something that's happening. The beginning a in kin and a foot would mean that something is occurring, progressing, as in words like aloof, ablaze, which is post-positive. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, a sports team is akin to, I would say, akin to being a family. Yeah, it is akin to being a family. Yeah, so definitely alike. So evenly, I guess. Akin is like identical. Okay, alike. Yes, similarly, to stop it. Yeah. Ajar is something that's a little bit open. A door is ajar. And a foot means that something is happening. Something is occurring. Yeah? Something is afoot in the kid's bedroom. Akin to, similar to. Because it's an infinitive with the stop, Patricia. Yeah? Akin. To stop it. Yeah? In order to stop it, the to is going with the stop in order to stop it, and that's the point. Yeah, the to goes with the next bit. Wow. Okay, so Wyville, created in 1999 as an educational game for children aged 8 and over, will, should, might seem like an doubtful, unrealistic, unlikely place to investigate cheating. But it is evidence that cheats appear anywhere and everywhere, says Mia Consalvo, professor at Concordia University in Montreal. So, let me read it again. Wyville, created in 1999 as an educational game for children aged 8 and over, will, should, might seem like an doubtful, unrealistic, unlikely place to investigate cheating. But it is evidence that cheats appear anywhere and everywhere, says Maria Consalvo. So we got lots of answers. Leffy for might. Something is amiss. Lax for might. Valentine might unlikely. Leffy might unlikely. Vibes might. Rizgar might. Santosh good evening might. Quarenta might unlikely. Abdesalam goes for might. Manji for might. Lax for might. Maria Lazar for might, Vitali for might and unlikely, Roland for might and unlikely, Ronan might unlikely, Count says might unrealistic. Okay, unlikely for Abdelassam, Santosh for doubtful, unlikely for Ruzgar, might for Funda, Amin might unlikely, Abhishek goes for might, unlikely for Maria Lazar, Patricia might unlikely, Manji unlikely, Minati might, Julia Richmond might unlikely. I think this is Yuri, but I might get it wrong. Goes for might and doubtful. Roland for unlikely. Funda for unlikely. David Lutz might and unrealistic. Renyard might and doubtful. Okay, copy for might. Abhishek for might. And Jobs goes for might and unlikely. Mitali unlikely. Hey, thank you very much, Leffy. Okay, and good evening, Malem. Okay, so there's an absolute landslide for might. Yeah, might seem, it's possible. Yeah, will I think is just too strong, and should is not right. Yeah. Cheaters, they're common here on Earth, but they're more common in hell. Very good, Lax, I love it. Okay, so a doubtful place to investigate. No, a person feels doubtful. Let's see, unrealistic. Well, it is a game, yeah, and it is for kids, but, well, people like to cheat. So, to me, unlikely is a much better answer than unrealistic. Yeah, I guess it could be unrealistic, but it's an unlikely place to investigate. Because I think, well, it's a game and people are playing it, so you could actually do it, and it might be realistic, but it's not the most common place. Okay, so the next one. I like the next one as well. And again, thanks to David Lutz, and thank you to Leffy as well. You're both very kind people. Okay, so we're going to have another one any second now. Darn it, you lost. Okay. So, Ulyana, thank you, Leffy. Thank you, Leffy. Ulyana. Okay. Unrealistic goals, unrealistic desires, yes. Ulyana, I need to write that down. Ulyana, thank you, Leffy, thank you for that. Okay, and Hadi goes for might and unlikely. So, players complete science and maths puzzles in return for clams, the virtual currency used in the Yville world. Clams could be exchanged for avatar upgrades like new facial features, haircuts or possessions, while players were able to design their own upgrades to sell at any price they hoped, wished, expected, thought at the trading post. So, okay. And we've got answers. Vitali goes for facial and so does Vibes and Laxina. Valentine for facial and wished. Renyard facial features. Count Beauty for facial and wished. Okay, and Vibes for hoped. Any price they hoped for. Yes, it would need a 4, definitely Vibes. Milem facial and wished. And unrealistic expectations. Vitali goes for wished, Funda for facial, and Quarenta for facial and wished, Julia Richmond for facial and wished, Maria Lazar for facial, Lax for facial and wished, Manji for facial and wished, Ronan for facial, Maria Lazar for wished, Leffy for facial and wished, and Santosh facial and expected. So, let's just look at expected. If you expect something, this is what you assume is going to happen. Yeah? Rain is expected. It's not a very good answer. And, Rosgar, new facial treatments, features, etc. Facial features for Roland. Minati for facial. Ronan expected. You see, I would say I need more with expected. They expected to get. They hoped for. So, and facial and expected for David Lutz. And facial and wished for Abhishek. Roland says expected. Renyard for wished. She wished for a facial for her birthday. Okay, yes, a facial massage. Leffy. Minati wished. Roland says hoped for. So, hoped for. They thought they would get. They expected. Yeah, but you don't expect a price. Yeah, you expect to get a price. You expect to sell at a price. You expect to receive at a price. Wished, desired. Thank you, Vitali. Okay. Facial and expected. Expected needs more for Patricia. Okay, facial and wished for Amin. Rizgar says thought. Wished. I don't think matched. Expected would match the context. I quite agree with you, Vibes. Copy says facial and wished. And Leffy starts laughing. Expected to get. Expected to receive, expected to earn. You can't edit your answers. You have to delete it, Santosh, and put another one. And facial and thought for Hadi. I love making him laugh. That's very good. It was a good one, Leffy. So any price they wished. Wished goes very nicely intransitive. Yeah. So, hi, it's me. They hoped to get. They hoped for. They expected to get. They expected to sell it at. Okay, apprehend. Thank you, Vitali. Wished. They were at will. They wished to sell at any price. Yes. So to sell, but they're hoping to get the price. Yeah, but maybe they will, maybe they won't, but it's at any price they want. Okay, so they wished. I'm not happy with expected. I want more with expected. And Roland says wished. Okay, wished is definitely the answer. And the game won plaudits, cheers, credits, fawning for its innovative use of virtual currencies and for engaging a younger, mostly female audience in science and maths. At one point, a virus, Y-pox, spread across the avatars' faces, and players had to work up, work out, work down, work over how to stop it. So, this one's at will. Yes, at any price. Yeah, at any price you want. So, at will is what you want, Ronan. Yeah? You can fire at will. You can shoot whenever you want. Yeah? You can go at will wherever you want. So there are no restrictions is the idea of will. So Vitali goes for plaudits and out. The hagglers will wear them down. Okay, credits for Count Beauty. Valentine goes for credits and out. Up for Count Beauty, out for Vibes, and Count Beauty's changed to ups. Plaudits for Leffy. Great expectation shattered. Miss Havisham was shattered. Credits out. Manji out. Plaudits out, says Leffy. Cheers for Maria Lazar. And out for Maria Lazar. Patricia says worked out. Okay. Copy pencil work out. Renyard for plaudits and work out. Malem for plaudits and out. Ronan for plaudits. Abhishek for plaudits and out. Work out for Ronan. Yes, that's the way, Santosh. Credits and out. Manji for plaudits and out. Patricia for plaudits. Minati for plaudits and out. Rizgar says credit and work out. It's me says plaudits and work out. Guarenta says plaudits. Okay, and Funda says out. So, unsolicited plaudits comes from the Latin laudere, meaning to praise. Applause, applaud, etc. Vibes goes for plaudits and out. Amin for credits and out. won a voucher, credits, for a facial and got a white box and had to work out how to get rid of it. Okay, thank you, David. Roland says plaudits. Devastated, annihilated. I love it, Patricia. So, credits. Let's see. Cheers. Hooray! No, it didn't win credits. Let's see. It won credit. If you took off this S, it would work all right. Yeah? Now, you're not... No, certainly not. Okay. Credits. The credits is not. They won credit. The answer here is plaudits. Whoops. And this is a posh word for people saying, well done, congratulations. So this is a new word for many of you to add to your vocabulary. And clearly you all know this phrasal verb, to work out. To work out the answer, to work out the solution. Yeah? To work out a problem, to find a solution to something. So plaudits, praises, yeah, very definitely. Yeah, credits, not credits. They won credit in the singular, yeah, but a credit's a credit voucher. Get a grip, everyone. Facial is a double entendre. Exactly. That's the point, and that's why I was laughing. Okay. When I heard this game was for... Okay, this one I really like, by the way. Kudos. Everyone fawns over you when you have money to burn. Yay. Okay, so when I heard that this game was for between, for tween, sween, weenie girls, I asked the developers, oh, so you probably don't have any problems with cheating, says Consalvo. She had a good reason to believe this was the case. Most of the research on cheating at that point focused on men, she says. It was thought that men cheated more than women. So, plausible. I love it, P. Yes. This one is interesting. So, we've got tween for laxina, weenie for count, Malem goes for tween. Okay, and David's still laughing. Facial for Abdesalam. And weenie for Vitali, and weenie for it's me, and Manji for weenie, and Abdelassam wish definitely. Maria Lazar for tween, Julia Richmond for tweenie. Credit is both countable and uncountable. Yes, but in this case for it to mean credit, generally, a general concept. And Vibes goes for tween, and Midnati goes for weenie, and Roland goes for weenie. Weenie means very small. Does this... Yeah, weenie means very small. And Patricia goes for tween. So I'm going to give you some clues. It's not between, and sween doesn't exist at all. So what's the difference between weenie and tween? And Persheng goes for between, weenie for copy. Thank you very much, Palsang. Okay, and Amin goes for tween. Plausible is a non sequitur, I'm afraid. Okay, and Roland says weenie is tiny. So let's see, in my opinion, weenie girls are going to be a year old, 2 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. But I wouldn't say any more than that. Renyard says tween. So, what does tween mean? Yeah, there's absolutely nothing for sween. It's an invention of mine, Lax, just to give people problems. Twixt and tween, but Vitali, it has another meaning. It has another meaning. Tween has another meaning. What's the other meaning of tween? I'm going to teach you a word today, Vitali. That's really good. I love it. Okay, so weenie's not right. Weenie, they're too small to play a game complicated like this. Between and weenie. Teen. It's not teen, but it's based on the word tween. What is on teen? What is tween? Sweeney Todd. I was thinking about Sweeney, and that was my idea of the Sweeney, as in the Metropolitan Police Brigade. Tween, pre-teen. Thank you very much. It's me. Between the legs, tennis shot. Ouch. It's for the rhyme. That was the only reason. Plaudit or plaudits was correct on the previous one. Yes, vibes. And Yolana goes for tween, a teenager. No, a tween is a young person who's not yet a teenager. 10 or 12 years old. Exactly. A tween, and this is the answer, is 8 to 12 years old, somebody who they're between a child and becoming an adult. Pre-adolescent, that's the meaning of it. Tween, a tween girl. I thought this was a great word, yeah, and I was quite rather happy with it, yeah. So tween, yeah, you got teenagers, but before teenagers you get tweens, yeah. I guess soon we're going to find the phrase tweenagers. Yeah, okay. Pre-adolescents, tween girls, and that's the word. Weenie, I think, is just too small. Weenie means really tiny, and in this case it's going to be very young. Prepubescent, I love the word. Puberty, prepubescent. That's a great word, Vitali, thanks. Okay, but the developers of Yville noticed something unusual. Here was a game where 68% of the audience were female, aged 8 to 13, weens, but in which cheating was exuberant, rife, fraught, thronging, awash. Okay, but the developers of Yville noticed something unusual. Here was a game where 68% of the audience were female, aged 8 to 13, but in which cheating was exuberant, rife, fraught, thronging, awash. So we've got rife for Vitali. More or less our ages, definitely. I'm definitely still a tween. Okay, you refuse to accept it as a word. It wasn't one of my inventions, Leffy. Julia Richmond for rife, it's me for rife. The long I, tween and tween. Yes, it's a double E. And Roland goes for rife, and so does Valentine and Patricia. Rife, it's me, says common. Rife for Rizgar, rife for Manji, rife for Leffy, rife for Count Beauty, rife for Quarenta. Thronging. Okay, thronging is lots and lots of people together. People were thronging together in the square. Yeah? A throng is a multitude of people. And let's see, twin teen. Okay, rife, widespread, particularly for something that's bad, is very, very common. 111. Okay, so if something's exuberant, it's really happy. I feel really exuberant and full of life and energy today. Preteen is the correct formal term. Well, tween, you see, Leffy? Okay. So it's not exuberant and it's not thronging. I think fraught means full of something that gives fear. It's fraught with danger. It's fraught with problems. Yeah, my life is fraught with difficulties. And Renyard goes for rife, and so does Haddy. Was awash. Normally something is awash with something. Thronging around the rock star, very definitely. Braveness, bravery and bravado. Well, braveness and bravery are an act that is brave. Bravado, you're trying to show off to your friends by doing something crazy. Yeah. Twin tween, twin tween, twin tween. Okay, so to be awash with, the floor floor was awash with water. The road is fraught with danger. Collocation, an exuberant market, yeah? A bull market rainyard, fraught with frisson. I love it, fraught with friction. No, definitely the answer is rife. And that was very good, because I think rife's not an easy word, and just about all of you got that, if not all of you. Okay, so it was awash with cheating, awash with oil, etc. Awash with a liquid. The deck of the ship was awash with water. Okay, so the next one is going to be easy, very definitely. Like many games, there were cheat codes and walkthrough guides, but players also hacked each other's accounts or set up secondary accounts to deceive their way to more clams, to scam their way to more clams, to ruse their way to more clams, to dodge their way to more clams, to sham their way to more clams. Found Yasmin Kafai, a professor of learning, and Deborah Fields at Utah State University. There's one gap too many. So, a bull market, definitely. Tween has the E sound, right? Tween, yes, exactly. So, Laxina goes for deceive, Vitali goes for scam. Same middle name, me. Leffy for scam, Amin for deceive. Yes, that's a bull market. Fraught with fulcrums. Sham for Maria Lazar, and Uliana, I'm going to call you Yana, says scam, Valentine for deceive, Vibes for scam, Count for scam, Manji for scam, Forlearn for scam. Okay, Razgar for scam. So firstly, ruse. A ruse is a trick, but it doesn't exist as a verb. And scam for Ronan as well. Okay, if something is a sham, it pretends to be something it's not. Yeah? Okay? Particularly when somebody is pretending that they're your best friend, but it's actually a sham and they hate your guts and they want something from you. And scam for Piersheng, and deceive for Roland, and dodge for Patricia. A ruse is a trick, a clever plan, and you should know scam for learn. What's a clam? Well, a clam is actually a shellfish. They're delicious, and I had them for lunch yesterday. But in this case, clams are the monetary unit. Dollars, pounds, units. Yeah? Clams are the money in the game. Yeah, Renyard. A sham wedding, a pretend wedding. Fraught with frisson is not a collocation, says Vitali. A sham marriage to get nationality or the permission to leave. Clam, in this case, dollar or money. Sham, phony, very definitely. So, okay, to sham is to trick. To deceive. I guess deceive would work, but this word to scam, this word is used everywhere. You did know scam. Okay, so sham. So think about this one, Leffy. What do you use to clean your hair? Shampoo. Think about it. Okay, a scam is to trick, a scammer. Yeah? This word is really, really popular. I guess deceive might work. To dodge their way. To dodge is to avoid. I guess dodge might fit as well. But scam to me is clearly by far and out the best. Okay, so we'll do one last one. Clams can be eaten. I love clams. I absolutely adore clams. But round here, they're probably €7 a kilo, which is incredibly cheap. The Artful Dodger. Yes, from Oliver Twist. Where's Fagin? So, well, Fagin's probably sitting here teaching the lesson. Okay, so the very last question. Consalvo was also captivated by another kind of cheating in the game, something she had rarely seen elsewhere. Using the chat function, some of the girls were manipulating the clam market by pooling, cooking, conspiring, this should say ganging, to drive up their value, of their goods. Okay, so we've got answers. Yeah. Okay, but look at that in the context of sham, Leffy, and think about what it might mean. The infantry, I love it. I love the joke. Which branch of the military accepts toddlers? The infantry. Okay, so we've got conspiring for Vitali, for Lax, for Valentine, for Vibes, for Quarenta, for Julia Richmond. Count says cooking. Yeah. No, cooking up a plan would work. Okay, soap then. And Leffy goes for conspiring, so does Maria Lassar, so does Ronan, Count Beauty, Patricia for conspiring, Leffy for conspiring. Louse bitten. Flea bitten, louse bitten. Well, fleas and lice are different types of creature. Yeah? Fleas jump. The lice are smaller than fleas. I know all about that, by the way. Okay, Manji goes for conspiring, Renyard for conspiring. No, it's not correct. For ganging up would work. To conspire to do something illegal or harmful. Absolutely. So, ganging up would work. Cooking up a plan. Pooling. Shampoo. Thank you, Live. Exactly. Pooling. Pooling is to put everything together. No, the answer is definitely, as Rezgar puts it here, conspiring. So, conspiring. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's enough today. Special thanks to David Lutz for his very generous donation, and thanks to Leffy for his generous donation as well. It was very kind of both of you. So we will continue with this article next week, if God... Lizzie gave me nits. I'm not going to say anything. She'll sue me to pool their resources. Exactly, Patricia. It's been a pleasure having you, and thank you for all the unsolicited alerts, Vitali. Thank you for coming, Quarenta. It needs to be gang up on Fulham. The bees are still fine. Yeah, we will see. Now come the Velutinas, and that's when my problems start. Vespa Velutina, they're about that big, about 2.5 to 3 centimeters. They've got a sting like a snake, and they're really difficult to kill, and their favorite food is bees. Okay, so thank you for coming, Ronan. Thank you, Uliana, for coming, and thank you for Vitali and Count and Manisco and Roland and Valentine and Copy and Hadi and Julia. Thank you, and thank you, Maria Lassar. Thank you, Pierre Sheng. Thank you very much, Count. You need to stay safe. And thank you, Amin and Razgar and Manji. She wouldn't sue her own father. No, she's too kind for that, but it could be defamation because I can't prove it. Maybe it was her brother as well. Maybe her brother gave them to her and she gave them to me. So cheers, Renyard. Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful group. Thank you for coming. Stay safe, all of you. I love all of you. You're wonderful people. Thanks, Vibes, and thanks, Lukash. And I'm used to stings, yes, but the sting from the Vespa Velutina it's about 20 times as strong. Yeah, it's a really, really bad one. Yeah, so be careful of the Vespa Velutinas. Okay, I'm going to stop the voice, but I will let you continue to chat for a bit. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Leffy, and thank you, David Lutz, for